Welcome to GAMEpoch, the show where I play through the history of video games, starting with Super Mario Bros. And the Nintendo in the order of their release. Right now I'm playing The Legend of Zelda, and I am about to face off against the final boss, the boss fight in one of the worst dungeons that I've actually done really well in. I kind of stomped this. I'm proud of myself. So here we go. So I'm supposed to aim for the Eye of Gohma, so that's Gohma. That's it! That's all she wrote! It's unbelievably easy. I'm sure if you don't know to use that, and you don't know the whole aim for the Eye of Gohma trick, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna be like trying to hit him, and nothing's working, you're gonna use bombs, you're gonna use the torch, you're gonna use your new magic rod, which, by the way, you'd think would be helpful against the Wizrobes if you played later Zeldas. No, it's not. It's completely freaking useless. It does nothing against them. It sucks. In fact, I hardly ever use it generally because it's not that great of an item. It's just... that's so strange. Alright, I want to save my rubies, so I'm gonna go ahead and not buy that. And now for an interesting part where I try to figure out where Dungeon 7 is, because I honestly can't remember. So now that I've got the bracelet, I can go through here, and here's a warp. Take any road you want. There may be some kind of a rhyme or reason to this, where from this source, left goes here, middle goes here, right goes here. But I've never taken the time to figure that out, because there are like 4 or 5 of these around the world, and it's really difficult to keep track of them all. And so now I'm kind of in trouble, because I really don't remember where Dungeon 7 is. And now I'm over here. Oh, that's right, I know where Dungeon 7 is, and it's going to tie into... there's a secret where fairies don't live. Speaking of fairies, since I'm slightly hurt, I'm gonna go up here. I'm so glad I remembered that. Thank you for healing me. It's very nice. By the way, something that, you know, people who watch Did You Know Gaming will know this. But if you don't, you may have gotten a hint of this because of the whole green tunic and tights and stuff. And a fairy as well. I mean, apparently, his design, Link's design, was based on Peter Pan. That's like... no duh, you know? Like, that's such a no-brainer. Oh, one of these may... well, that was a waste. There are more bushes that I have not uncovered that are secrets. I'm gonna just try a couple of these really quick on my way to the thing. Maybe it's one of these over here. Oh! Yeah, here's one. It's a secret to everybody. Thanks. 10. One thing you could do if you wanted to do the gambling, this is kind of like the naughty, naughty, naughty. But you could, you know, load up your save file, which, you know, that's such a bummer about this game is... actually, it was revolutionary to have a save file. This game really started that. At least with console gaming. They may have been able to do it with PC gaming, I'm not quite sure. Since that would have been a little bit easier, they could just save a text file or a binary file or something that they could easily load from. But with console games, no. I mean, that was not really a thing. And it still wasn't super common to implement that for many games, except for role-playing games. Until later. And this game was the first to do it on cartridges, and it's because they included a battery. The battery enabled them to save some RAM, I believe it was, that let you save your progress in your file, in your game, and pick it up later after turning off the console and just picking your save file. You didn't have to write down a password and remember it and all that kind of crap. You could just go to your file and boot it up. That was so convenient compared to having to either go through the whole thing again, or leave your system on in the level that you were still in until you could come back and finish it, like with, you know, maybe the original Mario, or with the original Castlevania, or something like that, or, you know, whatever. You could just come and load up your save file. It's so convenient, but with this game, unfortunately, you only got to actually save your game when you died. So if you didn't want to die, you would have to just leave the game paused all the time. So it's still kind of a poor design flaw in that way, but yeah, whatever. Now, I am where fairies don't live, which is kind of a weird way of saying where fairies are missing, or something like that. You know, it could have been worded in a better way, perhaps, but you're supposed to use something that makes a sound, and you've got the flute. There it is! Oh, it's so cool that that shows up. I love that. I wish I could have gone through the experience of just figuring that out myself. I would have been so satisfied to be like, oh, I get it! I get it! Cool, I got it! You know? What's cool about that sound... I mean, if you've played Mario 3 at all, you will know that from the flute. That's exactly the sound it makes, and it came from this. But the thing that blew my mind is the beginning of Ocarina of Time. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. You know, the whole piano thing. Ba da 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 da. I shouldn't have started so high. Ba da 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 da. Alright, so here's level 7 with the blue statues and the green background, which I think looks pretty cool. What's remarkable about this is, for whatever reason, I mean, this is the way I feel about it, it's incredibly easy compared to level 6, because there's just not as much constant peril. And I love that it just right off the bat starts you off with one of those awesome enemies. I don't know, I love this dungeon compared to the last one. It's just a joy to play. And that's just kind of interesting that they did it this way, where it seems clearly easier. Or it's just kind of like, you know what, we gave you a rough time last time. You may be expecting that because the last one was so hard that this one's going to be even harder. We'll mess with your expectations and make this one fairly easy. I would not at all be surprised if that was a deliberate design decision. These guys really like to not make it super predictable. Unfortunately, that desire to avoid predictability went away hardcore once a formula for Zelda was very heavily established in Link to the Past, and they essentially stuck to it really closely with minor changes here and there. And Ocarina of Time was the first culprit of that. I adored Ocarina of Time. I absolutely was blown away by it and loved it when it came out, so don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of very legitimate problems with it, and I completely agree with most of what Egoraptor talked about in his sequelitis. I actually hadn't thought of most of that stuff. And so, of course, it didn't bother me because I hadn't thought of it, but every point that he brought up really made me kind of think about it. And that's the thing I love about sequelitis, is it really opened my eyes to looking at games with a kind of different perspective that was more critical and not just like negative, but paying attention to what's really happening and trying to figure out why things are the way they are. And that really changed the way I view things, and I really appreciate that. He really opened that up for me, and I'm grateful for that. So, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for making sequelitis. And I hope that you make more of them. Anyway, jeez, I spent so many bombs. It's probably gonna be like, hey, 4 bombs, yay. Nope, it's just freaking rupees. That's awesome. And unfortunately, I can't remember the layout of this dungeon. Here it is. Oh, I'm so close. I need 11 more rupees. Okay, I really need to remember that that's there. I was right, it was in Dungeon 7. Okay. Now, see, the thing is, like, these have kind of replaced these boomerang, whatever they're called. Man, I know their name, and I'm tripping. I can't think of what they are. But the boomerang ones are just, they're not really very difficult. They're slow, they shoot a projectile at you that's easy to block against, and, I don't know, like, and especially once you get the magic sword, they die with only 2 hits. It's just, compared to the Wizrobes, they're not a huge challenge at all. So I just find it so much nicer to... Now, and again, here we see the trope of what used to be a final boss in an earlier dungeon is now just kind of a mini-boss. It's very interesting that they have been doing that the last couple of dungeons. I really wish I could remember the layout of these places before I get the map. Once I get the map, I got them down pretty well. But until then, I'm kind of wandering in the dark, just kind of going, how is it laid out again? See, I say that these guys are easy, and I'm actually getting my getting walloped by them, so I'm kind of eating my words here. I might be able to go down, but I don't think so, because I think that's the room with the bomb upgrades. Grumble, grumble. Okay, I'm gonna come here later. That actually is why you need the meat. You walk in there, you equip the meat. I think you have to use it, and then the meat and the moblin, or moblin. So the boomerang moblins, they both disappear, and now you're free to walk in there. Hey, I love these guys so much, and I can fight 2 of them in this dungeon. It's so great. Unfortunately, I'm out of freaking bombs, and I hate being out of bombs. 6 more rupees, and I'll be good to go. Alright, I'll go ahead and pause this episode where I'm at now. So, I'm going to go ahead and wander around. I won't show anything new. I just want to get the last few rupees that I need so that I can get... well, I'll just walk in this room really quick and see if there's more things I can kill in here, and then I'll wander around for a while. I'm going to get the last few rupees I need, get those bombs, and this dungeon should be really quick to do. It should be a piece of cake, so... yeah, thanks for checking out GAMEpoch. This is MystikDan signing out. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!